Hello and welcome to Pacific Northwest Crafter. My name is Crystal and this is Flosstube number 15. This is my channel where I talk about what I've been cross-stitching and crafting the last couple of weeks. Thank you for those that are returning and welcome to those that are new. I hope you find something that you enjoy and like and subscribe. So what have I been up to? I've been cross-stitching away. I had some stitchy time with some friends that I met at StitchCon. We had a long distance meetup where we stitched and chatted. It was great fun. I had lots of fun doing that. And I also went through all of my whips and I thought about doing a mid-year whip parade that everybody's doing, but I have 70. It's quite a lot of whips and makes me want to work on a lot of them and finish them. And I know that there's still some that I want to stitch and everything too. I stitch in season. I've been working on Patriotic a lot lately, and I do have a good chunk of Patriotic whips in there, as well as the larger chunks seem to be Halloween, and then Christmas, there's a huge amount of Christmas in there as well. So what I decided, instead of showing you all of my whips, is I'm going to do a Patriotic parade. So today it's a little bit different of a format than I usually have. I'm going to show you all of my Patriotic finishes that I've fully finished before, as well as what I've been working on the last couple of weeks, and then what I have in my whips that are Patriotic that I haven't quite touched quite yet this year, as well as what I want to work on. So I do have, these are mostly Patriotic. I use that loosely. There's some in there that could go just summary and they're not quite Patriotic. I just have them categorized in my head as Patriotic to me, because like one of them is Nelson that you'll see, and that's doesn't have anything Patriotic on it, but it has the president, so I lean towards it being Patriotic. But for the most part, these are what I have in my Patriotic section of my whips. So let's get started. First off, the one that I fully finished first was America by Emily Call. Now this is a PDF pattern, so I don't have it printed out. I mean, I have the chart printed out, but not the cover page. So let me show you on my phone. Make sure I sit in front of a window and there's a glare, but that is America by Emily Call. It's a cute little finish. I think Holly Jones was working on last year as well, and I kitted it up right away and stitched it all up. I used my own colors. I'm getting my board down here. So here we are. See if I can hold this up a little bit better on a white background. But I stitched this on 36 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works, and then I used my own color conversion, and I have it if you would like it. I just didn't write it all down in my notes, but I used some variegation for the America. I'm pretty sure I used Liberty by Weeks Dye Works, and then the pattern has kind of a gray silver where it's yellow gold. Most of my Patriotic things are gold or like a brass, so I switched that up. And yeah, just kind of switched some of the colors up to what I had in stash at the time, and finished it off with a little bit of fabric I had left over from a project. You can see the project back there from last year, and then put a little wool felt on it. So yeah, cute little pillow number one. And all my Patriotic finishes are pillows at this point. Well, not quite. The next one is not quite a pillow, but it's a biscornu. So, oh, I did pull patterns out of this. Hold on a sec. I had them right in front of me. That's where they were. All right. So last year, Nicole Spohr did a stitch along. I think it was last year. Yeah. And she took the hands-on designs, has this and then the other 3 seasons, and they're all like the summer basket, winter basket, and so forth for the 4 seasons. And this is how Kathy had them finished, but Nicole did a stitch along where she stitched them this way, and since they're a square, they make a perfect thing for a biscornu. So I took one of the patterns, I took that pattern, and I stitched it up into a biscornu. And this is my first biscornu and first finish, where you take the 2 pieces and you stitch them together, and I absolutely love it. I switched up some of the colors. The reds, the one that is called for is more of a orangey red, and I wanted it to match the Primrose 4th of July rules that I was working on. You'll see that later. And so I switched the colors up just a little bit. I have them if you would like them. They're all DMC. And then on the bottom, since you don't really see that part, I just in the corners stitched that little blue. And I decided that I wanted to see how it turned out, and it turned out well, where what you do is when you stitch it, you do an outline around it. You backstitch an outline around it, and then that's what you stitch together. And so on one piece I stitched it in red, and on the other piece I stitched it in blue, and then to stitch it together I used white. And it turned out cute. So there's that one. Another finish that I had, I saw it carried up right away because it was so stinking cute, was Faded Flag by October House. And this one turned out darling. It is the cutest little flag. Absolutely loved it. This red, the stripes, you would think that it's just one highly variegated floss, but it's actually, is it 3 or 4? 4. Nope. 3. It's 3 different kind of pinky reds to make it variegated. And it's stitched up pretty darn quick. This is stitched on 36 count gray by Weeks Dye Works. And I used all the call for floss. And then I just had a piece of blue fabric and I put a red and gray little patch on the back. So that's Faded Flag by October House. The next one I did is from, well actually I don't know if it's the next one I did, but another one I did is the Summer Pillow by Season. It's from the book Seasons of the Heart by Brenda Gervais. And this one that I did was Summer. I stitched it on the called for with the called for. I don't think, the only thing I changed is instead of having the little summer banner, I continued the berries on. So that's, the board's not really helping. But there's that. All the called for floss. And then I just had some fabric that I put on the back, and then some Lady Dot Chanel. Don't remember what color that one is. But I just whip stitched, I found a DMC that is close in color, which is, and whip stitched it on after I sewed up the pillow, because there's no hole in the back on this one. I just sewed the bottom of it after I stuffed it. And yeah, so that one's on a 40 count Vintage Country Mocha with all the called for colors. And it's cute. And even though it's 4th of July, I'm leaving it up all summer, because after I'm tired of all the Patriotic up, I take all that down, and for August I put up the bees, all the bee stuff and berries and gardening things. So since it has some bee steps in it, I'll probably keep it up a little bit longer. Okay, there's that one. And I forgot to say what I filled. I have a tendency, I fill them with poly pellets and then fiber fill for a good chunk. So I fill it with poly pellets until I feel like it has enough heft for what I want, and then the rest of it I fill it with polyfill. And I like, they stand up well. I mean, they have a little bit of heft, but they're not like super heavy. The only exception is the biscornu. This one, it's pretty hunky. This one's filled with walnut shells. One, because supposedly walnut shells will sharpen your pens. I don't remember where I heard that from, but someplace. And yeah, wanted to see how much. It's a bit of a hefty. I don't think if it was any bigger than this, I don't think I would fill it all with walnut shells. That would be a honking brick you could injure somebody with. So, but mostly I use the poly pellets and the polyfill. The final FFO I have from last year was another pillow. I'm trying to find the pattern for you. And it is the red, white, and blue quilt from Primrose Cottage. And this one is super, super cute. And they're all super cute. And I think I stitched down the called for, did I? No, I think so. 32 count light taupe. Yep, 32 count light taupe with the called for Classic Colorwork, or I'm sorry, not Classic Colorworks, Color and Cotton. The Cherry Color, Old Lace, and Stargazing. And this one was a cute finish. And I got the finishing kit from Primrose. So I finished it up. The felt that goes on the back, I tried to cut it in the same shape as the flowers. I didn't get it perfect, but it's good enough for the back of it. And then they had the cute little pins from Just Another Button Company, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, cute little pillow finish for last year. And then this year, the last couple of weeks, I've had one FFO so far. And it is the stinking cutest thing ever. So if you have, I posted it on Instagram. So if you've seen me on Instagram, where I'm Crystal_PNW Crafter, you would have seen this. And I'm a huge Primrose Cottage fan. I love all their stuff. I have a lot of their patterns. I love getting their finishing kits because it's all together and easy for you to finish. And their patterns are cute. I also get some of their t-shirts that they have. And so I got the Patriotic t-shirt. If you've seen it, it's kind of a, I don't have it with me. It's on my Pinterest or on my Instagram. If you follow me there, you can see a photo of it. It had a flag on it that was in X's. And I remember watching Primrose Cottage, and at one point Lindsay said something about, oh yeah, somebody said it was a chart. I'm like, oh, it is a chart. And that was a few weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, and I've just been sitting on it, and all of a sudden an idea popped in my head. And I worked on that idea really quick, and it probably took me a day. I made 3 of them. A little bit trial and error at first, and then I got it worked out, but I made the cutest little scissor fob. So I stitched that up on 32 count platinum with some DMC floss. And I'm pretty sure I just use the same DMC colors as is in the red, white, and blue quilt. I'm pretty darn sure I took it from the Patriotic Quaker. And I just stitched it up. Then I made some cording. And on the back, I charted out USA. And yeah. All I did was I kind of followed the same thing that you do for a biscornu or a mattress finish, where I made a square or backstitch, just rectangle around it, an outline of it, and then I stitched the 2 together. So I did one red and one white, and then I stitched it together with, or maybe one red, one blue, and stitched it together with some white. And then I just, when I got to the corner, I stitched it together, or I stitched the cording into it, and then I filled it with some walnut shells, and it is the cutest little thing. I mean, it's so tiny, but I loved it, and it just made some cording and all that, and then I can use it as a scissor fob for this, or maybe put on a project bag. We'll see. Yeah, did that just in time. I made a couple for friends. Unfortunately, it's not going to get to you tomorrow, but you'll have it for the rest of July and next season. So that's what I fully finished this week. I did finish another project this week, but I didn't have a chance to fully finish it yet. And that is, it's a Cherryhill pattern. It's 2 Cherryhill patterns. Nicole Spore had a stitch along, I think, for our Flossiversary in 2023. I didn't see it until last year at some point in time, and I was like, oh, that's cute, and I would like to stitch it up. So I followed what her plan was of mashing two pieces together. I had the finishing board that she used, so I just need to mat it and stick it on there. So I hopefully maybe this afternoon I'll get that done, but I'm trying to find you the patterns because they're digital from Cherryhill Stitchery, and so it is, give me 1 second here so I'm not showing you the pattern. The first one is Stars and Stripes Forever, and you'll see it's you stitch all of this, but in between stars and stripes and then the word forever, between the two words, you stitch this flag and flower basket from Red, White, and Bloom. And you leave off this flower piece. Now, I'm thinking I might stitch that flower piece in the same colors and then put it like a little pillow beside it. But this is what I have finished. I did change up the colors a little bit in the flowers down here so that they were kind of the same scheme as up here and here. But I love how it turned out. There's a couple of color modifications, like I think there's a blue that I took out in this because that was the only place it was, and a couple of colors where they were different, but I used the same red and same blues and such. But yeah, I love how it turned out. And this is stitched on 32 count? Yeah, 32 count Platinum Laguna. So I'll finish this up, put it on some mat board, and then have it fully finished for the rest of July. So that was my only fully finish this past couple of weeks. And then let's see, what else did I work on? I have 2 starts and then 4 other pieces that I worked on. So let's go with the starts first. The first start I had was on the I think the summer solstice. The first day of summer, I started my Home Sweet Home by Brenda Gervais. This is one of the pillows I want to stitch in season. It is adorable. I think I only worked on it one day, actually, just that day. But I got a good chunk done. This is stitched on 36 count Cuppa Mocha. And I'm using all the Colorworks floss so far. It's not a huge start, but it's a good start. I just haven't been back to it. I kind of got focused on one thing there for a bit. But I'm sure I'll get to it again. I'm still, like I said, I'm still feeling patriotic stitching, so I'll work on that for a bit more. And definitely get it done before the last day of summer, which I got some time, I think. I want to say it's in September, but it might be August. I know I have a good chunk of time left, so plenty of time to work on that one. And in the meantime, I did another start, and I started the Shepherd's Bush flag. Love these bags, and I am stitching it on the berry bag with pearl cotton, all the Colorworks pearl cotton, and that is just one day of stitching. It's not even one day of stitching because I finished the Cherryhill piece, and then later that night I decided to start this. And I'm loving how it's turned out. The only thing I am changing is it calls for some silver sparkly there. And Acorns didn't have the silver. They did have gold though, and like I said, most of my Patriotic is gold, not silver, so I did switch that up and such. Yeah, that's coming along really quickly. I think what I want to do, and I don't know if I've said this here or not before, I love these mesh bags, but they're huge. They're absolutely huge because I have a gusseted on the bottom. So I think what I want to do is take my, once I get this all stitched up, take all of my Patriotic patterns and put them in here. That way they're all in one place versus how I have them now, which they're kind of outgrowing. It started with 1 binder. We've now gone to 2 binders of patterns. I might have a problem, but it's not a problem if I don't have, it's only a problem if it outgrows my space. So I have a big house right now. We're good. But loving to stitch on that one, and that one should be finished shortly. I hope a lot of these are finished shortly, but we'll see. like my stitching hours. There's not enough hours in the day ever, is there? But I love working on this stuff, so we'll keep on at it. And I have a nice long weekend that I'm looking forward to some stitch time. Just chilling outside, and it's not, I'd say by the pool, but it's, don't be jealous. It's the low 70s right here on the coast. I'm not quite on the coast. I'm a little bit inland. But yeah, it's windy and 70. I mean, it's perfect weather. So I'm sorry for all of you that is hot. I mean, trust me, I lived in Arizona, Phoenix for decades, and I understand 120 plus heat, which is why I moved here. But I might still stitch outside, enjoy the sunshine, and watch some good movies that are on TV. In the stitching away on more Patriotic. And the next one that I have up is the Patriotic Quaker. And I've worked quite a bit on this. At the beginning of the season, all I had stitched was the bunting and then some of this and some of this one. So I have worked on it quite a bit this season. And so much so that I stopped last night right there. I am stitching this on, I think, 32 count white taupe is what I have in my notes. And it goes quick. Once I start getting, you know, into the groove of it, it goes pretty quick. It's if it's 32, it's 2 over 2. If it's 32 or 28, it's 2 over 2 that I stitch. If it's 36 or 40, I stitch 1 over 2. For the most part, I don't think it's ever been anything different than that I've stitched so far. I'm loving that one. And again, you'll see how much Primrose Cottage I stitch. There's a lot, because next one's Primrose Cottage as well. This one I started last year. It is Patriotic Picnic. I love all these little truck pieces. They're the cutest. But each one of them, I've switched them up a little bit. And so far, I think I have a piece to finish them on, but I haven't finished any of them yet. Or I have a piece to fully finish them, but I haven't finished any of them yet. But I am stitching all of them on 36 count. This is on 36 count Parchment. Yes, Parchment by Vintage Works. Let's see if I can go over this way. There we are. I am using all the called for colors except for one, the red. The red that is called for is Turkish red? Yeah, Turkish red. And perusing the week's dye works, I found Liberty, and it's a red, and I judge a floss by its name. I do. So I picked Liberty instead of the red, and I like it. It's just a brighter red than Turkish red. And that's coming along great. I got more of the border, as well as I started working on the truck. So making progress on that one. Oh, 1 second. I'm like, I was missing one. I'm like, that's because I grabbed too many papers. The next one I worked on was Nelson by Plum Street. There's Nelson. There's another horse one. I can't remember the name of the other one that has the horse on it, and I think George Washington. But I love all the Plum Street ones. And that one was a cute one that I started last year, and I had a little bit of I think I only worked maybe 2 days on it, because I only had a little bit of the horse and the tree done. I think I had like this much. Yeah, I had the horse done and then the tree up to here. So I worked on it maybe 2 days. I think only one. I want to get back to this, but I've got more of the tree limb up as well as some of his coat. So I'm making progress. What am I stitching this on? I'm stitching this on 40 count gray. So even at 40 count, that's pretty big. There's my hand. It's going to be a good size pillow. On that. And I am using all the call for floss so far. And then the last one that I've worked on lately, I I was having a lot of fun working on it. I was making really good progress and got into a good groove and was like working away on it. It is Stars by Plum Street. And before this year, what I got done last year was the word stars and then just a little bit of blue. I think I got to maybe here. And then I started just one thread of the red of the bunting, which only takes me to about here, I think. It's really good for fill-in. And then that's what I want to set up. I want to set it up for some really good fill-in. There's houses. There's also, what you don't see right away, is there's some darker red stars in here, quilt stars, as well as three light lines in here. So there's a bit of that gets in the way of the complete fill-in. But I got a good progress on that one. I got the bunting done. When I was stitching with friends, I filled in some more of the blue here. The roof is actually 2 colors alternating. Oops, sorry. So I got one of the colors done of the roof and then started doing the red so I can get down to here and outline it a bit, I think. And yeah, loving the progress on this one. I am stitching this on 40 count Ligonier Latte by R&R. And all the called for floss on it. So that's all that I've been stitching on this year. So let's move on in our Patriotic parade to my other Patriotic whips. So you'll say stars. You know, that sounds like it should have something after it. And it does. We're cold. One moment. So on the other half of stars, I have these in order. So I'm telling them out of order than I have them stacked in. But there is the companion piece in stripes. So this one is by Shakespeare's Peddler. This one, I think what it was is this was a retreat piece as together. And then last year, I'm pretty sure at Market, so this is 2024. At Market, they released them, each of them separately. So I started stars right away last year, and then stripes I started on Memorial Day this year. And there is the stars, and there's the stripes. So the stripes, I just worked on it on Memorial Day. I didn't haven't gone back to it. But yeah, I got a good start on it. Stripes. Yeah. And then I will do end as well on this piece. And now the call for floss. And I am keeping this in a gorgeous red, white, and blue Project Keeper from Tiger Lily that I got last year. Anticipating the July Project Keeper for this year and what it will be. Alright, I'm trying to keep these somewhat together so I'm not losing them. Oh, and then the problem with stitching this 2 pieces on the same fabric is that I forget to turn it over, and that's where the other one, as I'm sitting here looking, where's the stars one? All right. So what else did I start last year or earlier in the year but have not gotten back to? First up is 4th of July Rules by Primrose Cottage. This is darling and cute. And I love all of it. And I love the colors and Patriotic and such. And the frame is gorgeous. But do I think I'll be able to snag that frame? No. I do not have... My ninja fingers are not that quick to get the frame when he posts it. And it's I always see it on Facebook later in the day because I'm working and it pops up and they're all gone within minutes, I think. But I did start it, and my intent was, last year at least, where's the board? Was to stitch it all in one piece. So I cut one long piece of fabric. I am pretty sure I am using the called for, which is 232 count light taupe. And I started at the top, so I started with 4th of July Rules. And I got some good progress. I think I worked on this 1 or 2 days. Probably, maybe more, maybe 2 or 3. But I've only gotten that far. And the more I look at it, the more I'm like, ugh, I don't know if I want to stitch all this and such. Because there's some parts of it that I'm not overly excited about, such as the bunny and the parade. The bunny's cute, but I usually don't go to a 4th of July parade. The other stuff. So I might make it into pillows instead. And then just have a bunch of pillows. We're debating that one still in my head. Not sure how much, I mean, if I get back to it this year, at least I'll keep on working on this one to get it done. And I mean, I have until I finish this section and before I start the next one and figure out if I want to stitch it as a separate one or not on that one. The next one I started last September. I started it as part of my Sampler September kind of situation, even though I feel it's patriotic. It is American Sampler by Primrose Cottage. And I think it's patriotic only because there's heavily red, white, and blue as well as the flag. But it's also not patriotic. But I thought this was really cute. So I started stitching this one up. I am using all the call for floss with a classic Colorworks. It's all classic Colorworks. And I'm pretty sure. Am I using classic? Yeah, I am using classic Colorworks. I got their thread pack for it. And I am stitching it on 36 count flax. And that's a couple of days worth. I didn't get back to it. But I'm liking how it's stitching up. So I'm just going to get back to that one. The next one I started on 4th of July. I'm pretty darn sure I started on 4th of July last year. Is Holiday Hoopla by Vintage Country Mocha. And this is just so darn cute. And I want to finish it just like this. I gotta be on the lookout for the hoop because I really want to finish this one this year so I can have it for display last year. And it's stitched so quick if I actually focus on it. I'm pretty sure I started on 4th of July and then just didn't get back to it. Or I got back to like one other day. But that's where I'm at so far. And the beard you stitch in the Whisper fabric, which will like fluff up and such. The only thing is, I think the called for is a white or off-white. And I switched it. Oh, which one is it? All the other ones I'm using the called for. Called for Classic Colorworks and Week Style Works and such. Whisper. You use Whisper. And this one, let's see here. Where is the color on here even? Wow. W89. Whatever W89 color is, that's the one I'm using. All I know is, I remember when I went to Acorns and Threads to kit this up, they didn't have the one that's called for, but they had the one that was called for in another Vintage Country, the rose, and it's the one with the bunny in a basket that is kitted up. And I look over here because that's where my kits are. It's the same one as that. And since you don't use all that much, I didn't want to get too. So, yeah. It turned out fine. It's the same. I mean, it looks fine. And then when I'm done with it all, I'll just fluff it up with a toothbrush, a clean toothbrush. So I need to get back to that one, and I will get back to that one because my friend Darcy's birthday is on Saturday. Happy birthday, Darcy. And she is starting that, she said, on her birthday. And so I said that I would work on it on Saturday for her, to celebrate her birthday. And yeah, that one should be pretty quick to stitch up. I say that for everything, don't I? The next one I did that, again, it's not quite patriotic. I don't know, because there's a lot of blue and there's some red and there's a flag. I think it's patriotic in my head, and the word America is in there. So it's American Welcome by Plum Street Samplers. And I love this one. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And fortunately, I haven't. It's one of those, I love everything about it. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten back to it. And I really want to get back to it. But I also want to finish some of the small ones. Because is this one going to get finished in a couple of days? No, it's not. My goal is to get to the houses and outline them as well as the water. And then get them all lined up for fill-in. Because if I've learned anything from StitchCon, it's to have fill-in projects. When you just want to sit and chat and only pay partial attention to what you're stitching. And I started in the upper left and I got this far. But I absolutely love this color of fabric. Did I write down what color it was? No. Arg, I did not. Because I forgot, I wrote down my notes and then I forgot, like, oh wait, there's this one. I am pretty darn sure. I'll put it in the comment, or I'll put it in my show notes and such, where I usually list all of my projects that I've talked about, as well as what I'm stitching on and which flosses that you can refer to. And if I forget, please feel free to remind me. Always happy to answer any questions on this. It is, I'm pretty sure it's like Golden Harvest or Golden something by Atomic Ranch. I love it. It's, and I'm pretty darn sure it's 40 count. There's a Halloween stitch I'm stitching on this one as well. And I need more of this fabric. It is just the most perfect buttery yellow. I'm not trying to make sure I can get buttery yellow. I just think it's perfect for like a goldeny sunny day. The Halloween one that I'm stitching something on it is called When Pumpkins Glow or something like that. Because of glowing pumpkins, I thought it was good for that too, the candlelight. So loving that one. And I am not using necessarily called for. I am using the color and cotton conversion that came out. So that's what I'm using. And I'm loving all the blues and the reds. Working on that one. Okay, where were we? We are coming back from a short little break. Hopefully the delivery guy has gone and Timber won't be barking anymore. The next one that I started this year was Liberty Pennies by Hands On Design. This is one of her round pieces. I have a couple other rounds that I've worked on, or I finished. I haven't fully finished them yet, but I did get the DMC to do the cording, and I did cording for the first time when I did that scissor fob I showed you earlier, and yeah, hoping to maybe get some, hoping in July to get a lot of things fully finished. That's the goal. We'll see how it goes. But I am stitching this, not on the call for. First off, I'm like, which way is up? There we are. And it is on 32 count Night Sky by Fiber on a Whim. The call for, I want to say, is Slate. Yeah, it's Slate by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I didn't have it and I wanted to start it right away, so I thought this was a good substitute. It's just a little bit more blue, I want to say, than Slate. I do have Slate, but a different count. And I am using all the called for weeks fabrics. That one is going well because that's only like 2 nights of stitching. So that one should be a couple of more nights and done. The next one I started this, the last two more. I started this last month in June. I just haven't gotten back to them in this last couple of weeks. But first off is American Alphabet by Primrose Cottage. This one is going really quick. It is on 32 count natural. And I am using all the call for color and cotton. Yep, color and cotton call for. So yeah, that one's turning out really well. And the last one also uses the same colors from Color and Cotton. And it is also Primrose Cottage. It is American Celebration. My goal on this one is to do 1 row a month. And in that way, hopefully I'll have it done by a few months before next 4th of July so I can get it framed up. And so far, one row only took me maybe 2 nights of stitching. It could have been just a night and a half. Yeah. Got the first row done. So depending upon what my mood is and stitchy bug, I might move on to the next row, or I might just wait until the next month and work on it then. But those are all of my Patriotic whips. And that was quite a few of them. I'm still feeling the Patriotic gumption, the wanting to stitch Patriotic. We'll see how long that lasts before I shift into Christmas in July, because like I said, I have a lot of Christmas whips as well that I want to work on, get some of those finished up before the Christmas season, hopefully. And yeah, so let's see, what else did I want to show you today? Well, I wanted to show you some of my haul, and then there are 11 projects or patterns, Patriotic patterns, that I want to work on as well, that I have a couple of them kitted up. I might start in, you know, have to have a 4th of July start. And then there might be a couple more that I might start up. And then I do have a giveaway. It'll be my first giveaway. So hold on for that. But yeah, let's see here. Let's show you the ones, my patterns that I want to stitch, and then we'll move into the haul at the end, because that's kind of just a couple of things, kind of morphs into my plans. We'll finish with that. All right. Let's see, what do I have all packaged up? I have I have 4 patterns that are Patriotic-ish that I have all kitted up. That a couple of them are missing some fabrics, but these are ones I really want to start. And a lot of them are ones that, a couple of them are ones that got released this year at market. And then a couple of them have been, sorry, I'm shuffling around the bags that I keep them in. A couple have been around for a while that you might have seen. The first one is a market release. It's the first market release that I bought. I keep them in these Amazon hanger bags until I start them, and then I put them in project bags. But this one's going to be some undoing of plastic and so forth, so hopefully keep the plastic down, and maybe if I talk over it'll be a little bit less. The first one is Patriotic M by Annie B's, and I absolutely love the bald eagle in this one. That's what really drew me to it. So I want to stitch this one up. Except the more that I'm looking at it, the more that I might modify it a little bit. I'm thinking that I'm thinking about not stitching any of the bottom part here, like stopping at the grass. And also not stitching the red border. Just leaving the border off. The only part that kind of affects is this little quilt star. This lonely one is the one that's cut off here. All the rest of them are not cut off. So what I'm thinking of doing is, instead of doing this quilt star, I just do a couple more of these little other stars down here, like 3 or 4, to fill that area in, and then not to do the border. So there's that. I do want to do it. Is this the called for? Called for is 36 count Ligonier Latte by R&R, and that's what I got. I did get that fabric. So let's see here. And I have all the called for flosses, so all the called for pieces for this one. I'll put it up. Oh, look at that. I even have it on a ring. So there's that piece that I've been wanting to start. The other one that came, I'm trying to put this back into its home for the moment, so it doesn't get all lost, because even though I have the floss on the ring, I don't have my ring labeled, and I need to be better about that, because if you lose the floss and you don't put it back with your same project, and they're like, which one does this go to? That causes problems. Trust me, I've learned by mistake on it. And I do stitch a lot of things that are the same, use the same colors, it seems. The next one, though, that I want to stitch is also in Market Piece. Let's see if we can keep it in the plastic. Nope, can't do that. The sun is coming around the bend, and so it's getting a little bit sunnier here on it. Hold on. It is Liberty by Brenda Gervais. And she has 3. I don't think there's a fall one. She has, it seems to be a series-ish. They're the same size, and they kind of have the same kind of half Quaker motifs around it with something in the middle, but they're not a series, so kind of thing. There's Peace and Goodwill that I stitched up as my New Year's blessing sampler, however you want to say that, for January. I stitched that one up in January, and then I also have the spring one, which I want to say is like Earth Laughs or something like that. I just didn't get that one started. This one I do have, is it the call for? Call for is 36 count Tobias. And yes, I do have that, because, oh, I got the pattern and the fabric from Farm Girl Dry Goods during market. Let's see if we can hold this up to white so you can see what color it is. And I have all called for floss. So that one will be cute. So we'll see if I start that one this year or not. And maybe I have a tendency to just keep them kitted up. And if I get the gumption to start it, say in August, September, so be it. I'll start it up then. The next one, I don't have fabric for it yet. That is on the agenda of things to do this afternoon, because I definitely want to start this tomorrow. It is United We Stand by Blackbird Design. Yep, Blackbird's Design. And I want to stitch this. It's huge. But what I want to do is, what I was thinking is I'll stitch it between now and for the rest of the year to have it done by the 250th anniversary next year. That is my thought. It's huge. It's a mattress finish. Let's see. I'm sure you've seen others. That's the sides of it, the 4 sides. That doesn't look too big. I just keep on telling myself it's not going to be too big. I want to get a 40 count because I don't want it to be huge on it. I saw a model stitch of it and it looked gorgeous, but it was stitched on a larger count and it was filled with walnut shells, and it's a hefty brick. So we'll see. I do want to finish in the mattress. I haven't done one of those before. Hopefully it will by the time this one rolls around. I'm trying to find out what size it is. I think I want to say it was 110 by 110. Yep, 110 by 110. So on 36 count, it's 6 1/8 by 6 1/8. So 40 count will be a little bit smaller. No, it'll be good size. Definitely want to kit this one up, or want to start this one tomorrow. So on the agenda tonight is to find some fabric for that, because trust me, I do have a stash of fabric, which means it should be a no spend July. We'll see. I am not making promises though. The next piece though that I see everybody stitching it, and I kind of want to stitch it at least to get a start, so I can work my way down to the house. 1 second. Is Summer at Hollyberry Farm, and it's summer at Hollyberry Farm, so I can still stitch this all through summer. But this is by Stacy Nash. Others have been working on it. I just think I love all these Hollyberry Farm ones. And I think once you get the border, the only big pieces are the border and the house. The rest of it is just little pieces, little things. So I don't have any fabric for that, but I do have all the floss for that one. So that's another one that I want to get pick some fabric out for. And then I have more patterns that I don't have kitted up, but are in my stash, and I might start soon as well. Oh, I forgot I found it on. Okay. Let's see. Putting these in order that I can tell you about. All right, we'll go with this. What I got over last year is somebody had Bless Our Land by Plum Street. Never saw that one. That one was cute. So I grabbed that one from someplace. And then all the Brenda Gervais. So Red, White, and Blue from Brenda Gervais with onion on thread. Those are cute little ones. That's not happening this year. What might happen this year is I got the Primrose Cottage Sip and Stitch. So I have all the floss. And because I love Primrose, I'm sure I have the fabric in my stash. But they have and again, these 3 are from the Sip and Stitch, so they're not, if you didn't get it, sorry, but they usually release it in the next year. So wait a year and you'll have it for next 4th of July. But God bless America. This next one, I'm trying to, hold on a second, cover the pattern for you. 1776. And then America Home Sweet Home. This is another cute one. So I have the flosses for that. They're just not in the floss drops. And then there's also the Primrose Cottage June freebie. That comes in a red, white, and blue. And that's going to be, I got the kit late. It just came in the mail the other day. But I wanted to try the Hold on. Is it Baldini? Is that how you say it? I want to say Baldini. Floss. Because the blue is really variegated. So I got that's part of the haul. But I also want to stitch Be Brave by Antique Needleworkers in the Baldini. And some silks, other silks, because this is silk. So it's not the call for in this is Baldini silks, but not the same shades of red, white, and blue. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. And yeah, but if you saw my last Flosstube, you'll know that I got 2 of these. I got one, and then I got in the auction at StitchCon, I got the whole package from Antique Needleworkers. So what that means is I have an extra one for you. So if you are also interested in stitching Be Brave in honor of 4th of July and the gorgeous red, white, and blue, as well as this cute little pillow, drop me a comment. Use the word brave in your comment, and let me see all the rules. I haven't done a giveaway before, so this is my first time saying this. Please be a subscriber. Please be over 18 because I have to ask for your address. Please like and subscribe. Over 18. Please don't use the words giveaway and all those fun jazz things to lure in the bots. But use the word brave if you are interested in this in your comment, and just let me know what your favorite patriotic stitch is. It doesn't have to be the same thing that I am doing. But I always like getting new ideas of things to stitch up. But what's your favorite patriotic or summer? If you don't stitch patriotic, what's your favorite summer stitch as well? As I'm looking for some of those as I morph into August and then start all the bee and fruit stitching at that point in time. But yeah, so those are my plans, kind of what I want to work on for the rest of this season. Let's see, what else did I get? I got some patriotic yarn to stitch up some socks, some little shorty socks possibly, as well as, let's see here. Oh, I wanted to show you a couple of sewing things. There is the Tiger Lily had a kit. I'm not sure if she has any more kits, but I do show, I'm pretty sure the pattern and availability to watch the video, the class video, is available until the 18th of July because the class is on the 19th, but it's to kit up a lovely bag. So I'm excited to do that. Some Tula pink fabric. And then I got a new to me company. It is called, sorry, getting older and I have to wear contacts as well as readers. So it is Westwood Acres. And they have this, I just happened across it in Instagram. It's called the Tiny Piecers Club for Westwood Acres. And I signed up for it. And then quarterly they send you a little pattern and fabric and such to make these cute little pillows. So I got this the other day. So sorry, I'm trying to be quiet on it. And it came with the batting. There's some stuffing in there. The pattern, which is in color, and it's quite a few pages. It's 9, 10, about 12 pages with good detailed instructions so far. So I'm hoping that maybe this weekend I'll work on that a little bit. You can see those are just so stinking cute. And then the fabric that came with it, it's all, I want to look up and see who makes this fabric line or if it's all different ones, because they're nice kind of washed red, white, and blues, and I'm loving it. So it's quite a bit of fabric, and I guess some more for the backing. One was, did that say Art Gallery? I think it said Art Gallery, I'm not sure. But loving this, so I'm excited. This just came in the mail yesterday, so I'm excited to just work on that and such. But yeah, that's about it. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my Patriotic parade. Because like I said, if I did a whip parade, mid-year whip parade, it would be a lot longer. There's a ton of them. Hopefully, I'll get some of them done by the new year, and so my whips will be down a little bit, but we'll see. It's always fun to start and such, and I'll just have to make a mini-series whip parade come the new year. But again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you are interested in that gorgeous pattern from Antique Needleworkers, drop me a comment and use the word brave. So thank you, and happy 4th of July, and see you next time. Bye.